Hey guys, it's Oberstadt, and in today's video you're going to be seeing multiple looks with one palette. I got this in the mail today, and I did do a unboxing video as well as 2 looks with this palette. I have done a swatch video with it so far today and a swatch comparison video with it, comparing it to the Blood Sugar palette. I mean the Blue Blood palette. Yeah, Blue Blood, not Blood Sugar. So what I'm going to be doing is multiple looks, one palette. I did end up taking a shower multiple hours after I had done the first 2 looks, and so I just have skincare on my face. I have nothing else on. I'm going to be doing eye looks, and then I'll do like cleanup work, and then corrector, concealer, blush, bronzer, highlight. And so if you want to see these 6 or more looks that I create with this palette, then keep on watching. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys in. I will be doing a voiceover for this video. Alright, we are starting off with look number 1 using the shade Cute. If you look at your screen, I have included a picture of the palette as well as a mark over the shades that I'm using, just in case you want to follow along. I am using a Vasanti brush and just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Now I'm going into Virgin. This is a very, very white shade. I'm using that on my brow bone and then blending back over it with Cute. Now to take the Jawbreaker shade, which looks white in the pan, but it does have a yellow. If you look at it on my eyelid, it does look yellow on my skin, which is really kind of nice compared to Canon, which is more of like an icy, just straight white shade. This has a yellow shift. Now I'm taking Snack, and this brush that I'm using is just a little flat synthetic brush, and it is wet. I ended up having to get it wet when I realized that Jawbreaker didn't want to stick to my lid with just a dry brush. I did try the brush at first and it just wasn't as opaque as I wanted it to be, so I used my finger to tap over it and then went back in with the brush to smooth out any areas and make sure that it was covered everywhere that I wanted it to. And then, like usual, I'm tapping over the shimmer shadows where they meet so that they become friends, and then just touching up anywhere that I see that needs to be touched up, and then blending over both of them with that same brush again. Now going into the shade Delicious for look number 2. This is kind of like a purpley blue, like a navy blue shade with a purple hint to it. And yes, it does look patchy on my skin. It does. It takes a lot of work to get this shadow to play nicely. I'm not sure if this is just a regular pressed pigment of his. I haven't had any staining issues with any of his shadows out of this palette compared to the Blue Blood that stains like hot pink. But I noticed that using this little Morphe, I think that's a M433 brush, it just was super patchy. So I went in with a BH Cosmetics brush. It's like a dense, like packing or shader brush, and I used that to pack the shadow on to make it more opaque, and it ended up going on a lot nicer. But this is a difficult shade to blend out. Now into that raspberry shade. I was kind of, I guess, doing some 4th of July vibes. I did pastel on one eye, and well, I don't know what I was thinking for this one, but instead of using a fluffy brush, I just used my JCat color switch to take the shadow off that same brush that I used the Delicious shade with to apply the raspberry shade because I didn't want issues working with it. Going back into Virgin for my brow bone because again, it is a nice white, like it basically takes off every bit of color that my skin had, and it's kind of a good eraser shade too. If you have a screw up, it's really good to use that as like an eraser shade. And then just going back over my lines again with that same BH brush, and of course I do take off extra product in between with my little JCat cleaner. I think I picked it up for like $3 or $4 at Ulta. Now into this Bite Me shade. It is a beautiful, like, shimmery purple, and I went smack dab over the line of those 2 other matte shades just to like merge the look kind of as one instead of having that defined line in the center. I wanted to kind of mask it a little bit. Now we're going back to the first look. I am using bubble gum under my lower lash line. I was definitely feeling some pastel vibes here. And I using a Luxie little, it's kind of like a flat shader brush, and here's another Luxie brush that I'm using the shade Gumdrop with to kind of blend out the bubblegum shade. And I don't know, I was really going for the pastels, and I kind of winged out that purple and then connected the cute shade back with it, and then decided I'd put a line of the bubblegum in between, and then went right above my lash line with the bubblegum shade over that snack color. And then over Jawbreaker I did take the shade Wow, which is that bright yellow, and put that right up along the lash line as well. Now taking a little bit of Jawbreaker and putting that on my inner corner and touching up my brow bone. And there is look one. I did use the BH Cosmetics Teal Power Pencil liner in my waterline to kind of draw off that cute shade. I just wish the cute shade was a little bit more opaque. That's the only issue that I have with it. Now going back into the next eye, this is look 2 using the shade Suck. It is this really pretty dark tangerine orange. It is very opaque. It blends very easily with other shades. I haven't had any issues with it. Now going into Soaked, and I'm doing this kind of like I did with the top, with one part of my eye being one half of the shade and then the other part being the other, and then I go back in with that Bite Me shade in the center to make it cohesive. Even though I did red and like that purpley navy blue shade on top, I used more of a royal blue and an orange under my eye. And there's that Bite Me shade right there. I don't know, I liked the color combo on this. I liked how the orange was a little bit lighter than the red that I put on my lid, and it kind of contrasted really well. And then just kind of going back over my lines to blend them out a little bit better. I wanted that line to be defined, but I wanted it blended just a little bit. And again, using that Virgin shade as an eraser. And now into Lemon Drop. I put this on my brow bone and my inner corner. It is a beautiful, like sunshiny yellowy gold shade. It's really pretty, and I like how it contrasted with the darkness of the look, and it brought enough light to the look that I find, you know, I enjoy. And there is the finished look for number 2. I used the Tarte Sex Kitten liner on my upper and bottom waterline, and then just some mascara to finish off the look. So this is looks 1 and 2 using the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. This technically is the 3rd and 4th look I've done with this palette so far, but for this video it's looks 1 and 2. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Hey guys, it's Rekka. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing 2 looks again using one palette, and I figured, you know, I'm going to do something, you know, wearable in this. So I am using the new Jeffree Star palette, and I'm going to start off with the shade Virgin right up here along my brow bone. And it's driving me nuts. I have a couple of hairs growing in, but I promised myself I would let them go for at least 2 weeks without messing with them. I don't have makeup on anywhere else on my face. I'm just going to take this from lash line to brow bone just so I have a lighter base down. And hopefully the little dry patches on the inside of my eye will cooperate. Okay, so now that we have Virgin down, I'm going to go into Cone and just do a nice, easy, quick, wearable, everyday look. And then with the same brush, I'm going to go into Tasty. And now I'm going to take this Good Morning shade right here. I'm going to put this on the inner part of my lid to brighten that up just a little bit. And then with my finger, I'm going to take Snack. Alright, if you just sat through the first like 3 minutes of this video and you were like all sorts of confused, you got me messed up. Okay, so those of you that know I love color, we're like probably scratching your head with this first look going, is she like feeling okay? I mean, she's got this beautiful like colorful palette and she's doing a neutral eye look. Are you nuts? Yes I am. I've had very little sleep, I'm tired, and let's go balls to the walls, people. Alright, so I'm debating on what to do because there's only a few shades in here that I haven't used, 3 of which I just used. So I'm going in to this Gumdrop shade, and this is an SL Miss Glam brush. I'm going to put it right here and just go hog wild with it. This is a really pretty cool tone pastel purple. I'm then going to take Virgin up here on my brow bone and right here under the front of my eyebrow. I'm then going into this bubblegum shade up here with a little Viramona flat shader brush. This palette is quite heavy. And I'm going to put this all over my lid. Now taking a Luxie 245 into the shade Bite Me, which I shouldn't say too loud because my cat is right down here giving himself a bath. I came in the bathroom to record and he was laying on my dirty laundry, so I just kind of left him alone. What do I want to do with this? I'm going to stick it right here. And I'm doing kind of a wide swath of this. I'm going to take my color switch and I'm going into Cotton Candy. These shades will eventually be friends and it won't be two defined lines anymore. So what I did was I kind of did the reverse. Since I did purple here and pink down here, I did pink, purple on the lid and pink up in my crease. But as my eye folds, it will fold over that purple and that line will not be quite as defined. So I'm going to pop off, do concealer, corrector, blush, bronzer, highlight, waterline, and liner and mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, blush, bronzer, highlight is done. Now, for the fun part. You know this like boring eye look that I did over here that is kind of like neutral, everyday wearable? I put a turquoise liner on my waterline. So I'm going to go into the shade Cute up here with, this is an old Avon like flat brush. I'm going to put this blue, it's like bluish green minty shade, right up along my lash line. And I didn't do bottom lash mascara on purpose. So now we have a really easy everyday neutral look with a pop of like turquoise under the lash line and in the waterline. So it's still work appropriate, but it's not really. I'm going to take that snack shade on my pinky and pop it on my inner corner. That's what we used on the lid. And then touch up on my brow bone with it. So there is your everyday work wearable look with this palette. I did one of these with the other palette as well, with the Blue Blood palette. That way you could see that you can get wearable looks out of it. But you know me, I like my color. Okay, so going back in on the other side, I'm going back into Gumdrop. Angled the brush upwards. I mean, this is an angled brush anyways, but I've got it flat, so the ferrule is actually touching my face. I'm going in about 3/4 of the way. And I'm connecting it to the outside edge as well. Now for the hot pink bubblegum shade, I'm going to put that on the inner part of my eye. And then with the brush that I used before that still has like the pink on it, I'm going to put this on my inner corner. And with the same side, I'm going to pick up just a little purple and run it under the center of my lash line where those two shades meet. And I'm going to touch up here and then spread it out with my finger. I'm going to do really quick bottom lash mascara. I will zoom you in and show you the final look. And this is the end of looks 3 and 4 for this palette. So in today's 2 looks 1 palette, I think I'm going to start off with this flock shade right here. I'm going to be trying something different. Now I'm going into Good Morning. I'm taking the ColourPop White Concealer and I am cutting out my eyelid using a Luxie flat synthetic brush so I can block out the color of my eyelid. I'm going into Bite Me. And now into Orange Juice. And then just blending out Bite Me with the Duck shade. For the second look, I'm going to start off with Cherry Wet, and I'm using these in rows. So I'm using Cherry Wet first, and there is quite a bit of kick up in this pan. There's quite a bit in the Duck shade too. And I'm putting this further down. Now going into Bubblegum with the same brush. Put Gumdrop all over the lid. Okay, back with face makeup on and a CoverGirl purple lipstick in Feelings. I felt it matched the mood. For my waterline, I think I'm going to use one of my liners that's like a purplish shade, and I'll do mascara after I do the rest of the look. I think what I'm going to do is take that brush I had the Bite Me shade on and then put it on and then put the Orange Juice shade in the center and then use the Duck shade to smoke it out. And then going into the Good Morning shade, I'm going to put this right up here. I'm going into the Bubblegum shade. Then into Gumdrop. Now into the shade Sour. Okay, so here is the finished looks. This should be 5 and 6. I'm kind of getting like 80s vibes here with the colors between the green, the hot pink, the light pink, and the purple on this eye, which are all matte shades, and then the orange and the pink, or the orange and the it's like a fluorescent orange, and then the orange juice shade and the dark purple on this side that I with the 2 shimmers on my lid. It's really giving me some like late 80s, early 90s. I mean, where are my sweatbands and my shirt with those little circles that you tuck your shirt through to like scrunch it up at the bottom? And yeah, I have my leg warmers. That's, I think, the only thing I'm missing right now. And I grew up in the 80s, so I remember makeup like this. I like it. I'm almost wondering if maybe I should bring this out a little bit more, but I'm happy with it. So here, oh, and I did use like 2 consecutive rows. I didn't use the first row. I used the second row on one eye, so literally top to bottom 1 row on one eye, and then top to bottom the third row in on the other eye. So that way you can see that you can use the colors all in 1 row at once to create looks. So this is technically the wrap up of my 6 looks 1 palette. I will be using the Blood Sugar palette in conjunction with this one and doing like 2 looks, but with the other one with 1 palette and 1 with the other palette, trying to see how the colors that I found that were similar between the 2 palettes, how they perform on the eye. Do they look the same? Can I get them to look the same? That kind of thing. So I will be doing I don't know if I can do 2 looks or maybe 4 looks doing that, just to see, because there were a few shades in the Blood Sugar palette that look similar to this one, or close enough that I wonder how they would look on the eye. So if you're curious about that, I will be filming that as well. So this is the wrap up of the 6 looks 1 palette using this Jawbreaker palette from Jeffree Star. I've had some people leave nasty comments on Twitter about the fact that I bought this palette and that, you know, they brought up some of his past, and you know what? I don't care about any of that crap. I don't care about the drama of him or his past or his palette. We all have a past, and unless you're willing to like lay your past out in every misdeed that you've ever done, I can't judge somebody for their past when I know I have a past, that kind of thing. So this is really just about the makeup and the beautiful shades in this palette, not the person that created it. Yes, of course I am funding him in some way and his company, but it really is about the color story, the color selection, that kind of thing. Just like the new Morphe palette he just came out with that I'm interested in getting. Granted, it's got way too many pink shades in it, but the greens look very interesting. So I'm kind of hoping he will come out with a green palette, like an all green palette with varying hues of green, because green is my favorite color next to blue. So I'm kind of hoping that he does that soon, or, you know, within the next year or so, because I will definitely be hopping on that. I mean, I am wearing a green shirt. But actually that kind of goes perfect with the eye makeup, you know. I really just need to go find some acid wash jeans, and I don't even think I own high tops anymore. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the 6 looks 1 palette, and let me know what you think. I will see you guys in another video tomorrow. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.